obviously, Princeton is about 35 miles northeast of Dallas. Obviously, we're a little smaller than Dallas. We don't have the Dallas Cowboys, but we have the Princeton Panthers.
Yes.
We're a community of about 12,000. We have an ETJ of about 35,000. We're growing at a clip of probably about 16.7 or 16.9% a year. We project that probably the final build out of Princeton will be somewhere probably in the neighborhood of 110,000. Our tremendous growth in Princeton and what really makes Princeton very, very attractive to people. Obviously, we're not really that far from Dallas. So really when we talk about commutes and stuff, it's kind of a normal thing for people to live a little bit, have a little bit of the country feel with the city feel and still work in the city. So I think people become accustomed to that. They want a place to come home to. And we want Princeton not to be a pass-through, but a destination. So we're working really hard, and I think two things really drive this. I think McKinney is about 5 or 6, 7 miles from us. Now, if you go to McKinney and you're looking for housing, so, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in McKinney is going to cost you $300 plus thousands of dollars. That same home in Princeton will cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of $220,000, $225,000. So those are big economic, advantages for Princeton because we're building a quality product at a lesser price, and you get a part of the country. See, so and let me say this about our schools, because we have some of the best schools. We have the best school in Collin County, actually. Now I'm saying that as a mayor, and that may be a little bit on the bias side, but I don't really think so.
I think they're going to go up in value for certain as the agricultural landscape changes and housing and people move here. The value of these properties are going to increase. Certainly, we've seen an increase. A couple of years ago, the commercial property was selling for probably in the $6 a square foot range in the commercial properties, and now I understand we're seeing in the $15 range, and so that's just in the last few years. And so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that change, and that sparks the interest of investors, big box users, like the Home Depots and the Lowe's, and we've talked a little bit about medical care and hospitals, and there is some interest as Princeton being a location for a hospital here in the near future. Or I say in the future, not necessarily near future, but there's definitely interest in this area for a local hospital. So things are changing, I think, certainly for the better.
And they're already on their second 10-year growth plan for future schools to accommodate all the growth that's going on in Princeton. The first 10-year growth plan, I think, lasted 3 or 4 years. That's how fast it took place. So they're now into their second 10-year growth plan. So with that being said, he looked at new elementary schools, he looked at new middle schools, and he looked at possibly a new high school for this area. From the standpoint of universities, a lot of this is either in the Dallas area or over in what we call Denton, Texas, which is where you have University of North Texas and Texas Women's University. So those are some of the bigger universities here. So one of the things that you might want to consider in Princeton is the transportation. This is divided by a United States Highway 380. And if you go straight from this location due west about 25, 30 miles, you will end up at Denton, Texas. And that's where you have the two large universities there. So we like the affordability of land. We like the location and the major thoroughfares that Princeton accommodated us. And we like the politics and the people here to work with. So those were some of the major factors that we invested in. And we continue to invest in this market over the past 6 years.